Synesthetic.
Members of the 40 states, welcome to our party headquarters in this house for this our crucial press conference after the by-elections. Without wasting your time, without much ado, I revert to the President to issue his press statement. Thereafter, questions will follow. Thank you. Over to you, President.
Thank you very much, Secretary General. Ladies and gentlemen, members of the press, I wish to welcome you to this press conference. With me here is the senior leadership of the MDCT. We have our chairperson, Senator Mwonzora, our Secretary General, Honorable Paulina Mpariwa, our Organizing Secretary, Honorable Gift Chimanikire, as well as our spokesperson, presidential spokesperson, who is here, but who is always there with the people. So we have Honorable. Yesterday, the Zimbabwe Election Commission announced the official results in respect of the by-elections that were held. It's clear from the result of these elections is that the MDC and the MDC Alliance did not do well in these elections. Obviously, one way or the other, we did not get our act together. We also note that these by-elections were political and economic problems bedeviling our country, Zimbabwe. I thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, President, for the short and precise press statement. Our members of the 40 states, it is your opportunity. Number will give you the numbers. I think we'll start 1 to 5, then 1 to 5, which number will allocate to the numbers.
3. Okay, I'll start from the left. Number 1, number 2, number 3. 1, 2, and 3.
Okay, effort to secure SABC News. You said your party has everything it needs to win an election. Yet, the results of the election says your party is nothing in terms of, I mean, where are you getting the confidence? What gives you?
Oh, thank you very much. The question by Secure SABC, what gives us the confidence? What gives us the confidence, number one, is the behavior, electoral behavior of the MDC throughout history. The electoral behavior of the MDC throughout history is cyclical, up, down, up, down, up, down. For one reason or the other, those people did not go and vote. So the greatest problem was apathy. We are also going to be looking at other things like messaging, other things like in this very election, which was different from the strategies that we have used traditionally. We thought it was a novel strategy, and I'm sure that when the elections department and the chairman's office, the election directorate, look at these methods, they will revise them. So the versatility of the MDC, the never say die, work with all democratic forces And already in the alliance, we are working with some and so on. Regarding specifically Advocate Chamisa and his team, a lot depends, of course, on them, on their attitude towards us. There is nothing really personal between myself and Mr. Chamisa as people. There's nothing personal.
If I can use that term, who are now the triple C. Do you not feel this is a greatest indictment on your leadership quality as a person? Then secondly, last time you said once the by-elections are over, you are going to start the process of dialogue with President Emerson Mnangagwa. Do you still hold that position? Because last time you were saying you want dialogue as soon as possible. What
the letter you are talking about was not written by Alliance Partners. The letter you are talking about was apparently written by Mr. Bomani, who is Secretary General of the Zimbabwe People's Fund. We suspect that the letter is fake because Mr. Bomani is not even in the country. We have phoned around and no one seems to know anything about it. And we think that the letter is fake, and we know that for the alliance there are two important organs that sit to make decisions like the one that is being referred to in the letter. We have the liaison committee, which is a committee of all the secretary generals of the alliance. It is a committee that is chaired by us. By Senator Committee, that is chaired the Senator Committee. That committee did not sit, and then the committee of the Alliance will sit this week. Those are the two committees that can deal with issues like that. So we suspect that it was somebody who is just up to mischief and so on. It's not an official letter at all. Mr. Nikadzino, the failure of the MDC to get a single seat. Now, failure is failure. Even if we got 1 seat, 2 seats, or 3 seats, if we were smiling at each other, we were still contesting. We were still going to be vying for the same voters and so on. So our relationship with anyone was irrelevant. Dialogue, yes, we remain committed to dialogue, and we will push dialogue with more vigor. And we are fortified by what happened in this election. That dialogue is really, really important. Remember, there were incidents of violence, politically motivated violence in Epwe, in Gokwe, in Chikwekwe, where we actually had a loss of life. Because of the election, we had also incidences where we were not given the green light to hold political meetings in a province where the president was also holding his meetings. And I did raise that in Parliament, in the Senate, and so on. Those are some of the things that need to be looked at. Those are some of the things that need to be sorted out when we do electoral reforms. The reformation of ZEC, yes, ZEC has to be reformed. Deal with the issue of the committees under ZEC. Yes, there is that commission. Yes, there is the secretariat, and we have made sufficient representation regarding the secretariat of ZEC. But we do have underneath ZEC the key committees, the logistics committee, the accreditation committee, etc., which are over-dominated by the executive. And we think that there is need for reform. 128,399, that is the vote scored by the opposition, the combined vote. If you look sorry, the 9 constituencies by ZANU-PF, sorry, 9 constituencies by ZANU-PF. You have 128,399 according to our calculations. Total number of votes that they were able to secure. The combined vote in 19 constituencies of the won by the opposition is 129,000 votes, 799. Almost the same. And these are 19 seats, and these are 9 seats. And the result, the amount of votes, positive votes, is almost the same. That is a cause of concern to us as the opposition, and obviously that is going to be one of the things that we will look at when we do our strategic meetings this week. The conduct of ZEC was asked by, I think it was you are hiding. Well, this is still subject matter to a few internal processes that we are having here. We have had a few candidates who are raising a few issues, and we are going to be looking into that. So we will be able to give you a more comprehensive answer when we have a session with those candidates. There are certain complaints that they are raising. We haven't verified them yet. But what is important is that the election management body must act fairly, it must act impartially, and so on. And I think the evaluation of ZEC, we will do it in due course. But there is a lot of things that need to be done. I have heard a few complaints that were raised by other political parties. We have no reason to doubt those complaints. And therefore, it is an indictment on ZEC that they must put their act together. But what is important is that there is need for electoral reforms. And these electoral reforms, in our view, will come via a process of dialogue. Without electoral reforms, we will have the same complaints that we had in these by-elections in 2023. We will probably have the same disillusionment by the masses, by the electorate, as displayed in this election. We will probably have the same problems of violence, problems of unfairness, where political activities are banned by the police because another party is having their political meetings. In our case in Binga, the president was about 300 kilometers away from where we wanted to have our meeting, and we were not allowed to have those meetings and so on. And the police still has too much power and too much discretion to allow or disallow meetings, and those things need to be subject matter of serious dialogue. We still think that dialogue is the method through which to achieve these electoral reforms. By the way, come next year, we will be having serious issues regarding the diaspora vote. So people in the diaspora must be allowed to vote, and we must push for these electoral reforms.
Bear with me, I have 3 questions. It's my only opportunity in this meeting. Firstly, you spoke of apathy looking at the scale of the loss where not in a single polling station was won, let alone a ward for a constituency. The scale of the loss, is it an issue of you redesigning your strategy, or is it an issue of you being rejected by the people? And secondly, there is an issue of MDC Alliance legislators still in Parliament. Looks like I've asked for a lot of things.
You ask for everyone.
Apparently.
Okay. That leaves
Number 2 and number 3.
Oh, you asked the questions that I have. So,
Oh, okay. Okay, so yeah, okay.
is that your vote?
So, okay, number 2.
Okay, I'm Gaddafi of the Arkansas TV and Radio. My question to you is, are you still not ashamed?
And I'm going to give one question. Yeah.
So my name is Marshall. You, Mr. Mwonzora, said that those regulations was the result of what happened. That actually the opposition that your message did not translate into what was going on. What strategies are you going to use so that it's not going to happen in the future?
Okay, Tony, one supplementary question. A short one.
So, just out of interest, Mr. Mwonzora, we need to understand, at most, if not some of these polling stations, you actually scored a 0. What does this say about you and your polling agents? That you're actually manning these polling stations where your own populace recently. And at law, is it still permissible for us to have a next by-election, or there are not going to be any by-elections? Because I know there should be a certain time frame where Zimbabweans are not allowed to have by-elections, especially before a national general election is supposed to be called. So I think those are very big questions.
Okay, thank you, Tony, for the very advisory questions. Thank you.
Oh, thank you very much. The first question I want to deal with is what you call the scale of loss. Issues in a very honest manner. And when we are done, you will see our message. Time yet to rise the political epitaph of the MDC. I know that there are people who wish that we could be politically dead. We are not politically dead. We are politically alive. We are down, yes, but we are not out. And we will rise like a phoenix. And we will, to quote the Bible, if I may, people have been recalled as a result of their own behavior and so on. And I can't tell whether people are going to be recalled or not. I want to recall people? No, I don't. I wish to recall people. Do people want to be recalled? They may want to be recalled. It's up to them. It's up to them. Do we have the guts to do anything? We are not afraid of anyone. Do we look like people who are afraid of anyone? I don't think so. Dialogue with Mr. Mnangagwa. When we talked about dialogue, we were very much aware that ZANU had a super majority in 2007. And Morgan Tsvangirai said, we are going to pull Mugabe kicking and screaming towards the negotiating table. And at that point in time, the MDC did not have superior numbers in parliament, and it had not the same state power as ZANU-PF. The same situation obtains. We do not have the same state power as ZANU-PF. Of course, we do have 43 members of parliament. We do control the local authorities and so on. And we are going to push for dialogue because it has worked before. The end of the War of Liberation was Lancaster. It was dialogue, brought independence. The Unity Accord after Bukura Wundi brought something better for our people. Time. What is in the best interest of our people is for us to redress their issues, the issues of poverty, unemployment, capital flight, the issues of social security, and so on, service delivery. And if we can acquire those issues, if we can redress those issues through dialogue, we will pursue it. Whether we have more seats in parliament or not, we will pursue that. Heart and soul, you can't keep on asking me the same question over and over again, and so on. Unfortunately, your question does not have enough flesh for me to adequately and intelligently respond to it. So I cannot answer your question because it lacks sufficient particularity in it, and I'm very sorry about that.
It was made dependent on your results that you acquired.
Thank you very much, Mr. Matafu, whatever your name is, thank you very much, and my greetings to your editor. Just tell him that I did not answer your question because of the manner in which you asked that question, and repeat the question to him. This is a learning curve. You will learn more about how to ask the questions in order to obtain what you want. And let me say to you, because it is the same question that you asked the last time, rewind to the answer that I gave you last time, and that Mr. Gaddafi is your answer. Tonio, thank you very much. The recall of the councillors was not done recently, unfortunately. What has been happening, especially of government, is the delay in the processing of the recall. These recalls were done last year, and they were announced this year. So what you are talking about, actually what you did witness is the announcement of the recall. The recalls were done maybe around September, October last year, and we have actually forgotten about it. Regarding the issues of message, of course, which are with the intention to win the elections in the future. We have come from the disadvantage before, and we will come from this disadvantage again now. Thank you very much.
Synesthetic.